What's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. I'm just chilling here at the motherfucking Palace Pivot Boxing Academy, back at y'all with some more boxing talk. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to the nation and the mob. We at the mid 2,300 mark, about to be at the 2,400 mark. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. All right, y'all, Ennis versus Karen. Part 2 is officially in the books. You see what I'm saying? I wanted to speak about, in all honesty, man, Ennis' performance, what I thought about it. You see what I'm saying? And what Ennis should do moving forward. You feel what I'm saying? Because, you know, after this fight, which was a tough competitive fight, man, shout out to Karen for, you know, not laying down, taking a completely different approach in comparison to the previous fight. And doing his best to try to defeat or, you know, dethrone Ennis. You feel what I'm saying? In all honesty, man, I grew a whole lot of respect for Karen. I think a lot of people are shitting on Ennis and, you know, all of a sudden they trying to bury him and make it seem like as if, you know, he's overhyped or whatever. But in all honesty, man, I just feel like that was a great effort by Karen, man. And he really showed that, you know, he might not be on Ennis' level, but, you know, I think that he deserves to be spoken about amongst the top contenders in the welterweight division. That's just my honest opinion. You feel what I'm saying? I applaud him for being able to, you know, assess his mistakes in the first fight, taking a different approach. And although he did not come out successful, he had moments. You feel what I'm saying? But, you know, it was a great event overall. You know what I'm saying? Bam did his thing. Shout out to Bam for, you know, getting that boy up out of there within 2 to 3 rounds, I believe. You see what I'm saying? Packed him up pretty easily. Ennis, you know, he made it clear that the mistake that he had made in the first fight was he wasn't having fun going in there with Karen. And in reality, he was just looking for the knockout, and that this moment was going to be a whole lot different. And in all honesty, I think that was the most disappointing part for me. You know, I'm a huge Ennis fan. There's not many people that you could find walking this earth that's a bigger fan of Ennis than Mazuma TV. You feel what I'm saying? But it just felt like Ennis just wasn't focused. You feel what I'm saying? He wasn't really locked in on his main objective, you know, his sole mission, which was to have fun, you know, let his hands go, you know, find shots and ultimately get the stoppage. I felt like Ennis took an identical approach that he took with David Evanesian. And that was, you know, not really using his jab. You know what I'm saying? Staying within the danger zone, which was why, you know, Karen had a lot of moments offensively and just trying to go blow for blow with him and, you know, not being as elusive and sharp defensively as I'm typically used to seeing from Ennis. And as a result of that, man, there was some rounds that definitely went Karen's way. You know, I think that was the most rounds that I ever see somebody win against Ennis, in all honesty, because looking at the fight, I had it score 116, 110. You see what I'm saying? Karen had 2 10-8 rounds, so, you know, 4 points go, wait, I'm sorry, not 4 points. 2 points go away from Karen. So it was realistically, it was 8-4 in my honest opinion. One of the judges had it that way, so I know I wasn't tripping. But regardless, man, you know, there's a lot of people criticizing Ennis based off his performance. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is, how can I say that? I think it's valid. I think the criticism is valid, you know, at this point in time, because Ennis is a generational talent, in my opinion. And there's not many people that I've ever seen as well-rounded as Ennis and that could, you know, possibly become, you know, the face of this generation. You know what I'm saying? There's not many people that could honestly say they have the abilities that Ennis has. You feel what I'm saying? So this might have been a solid performance for guys like, you know, Mario Barrios. No disrespect to them. They still top quality guys, but I'm just telling you that I look at Boots in a different light. So like I was saying, you know, that might have been a good performance by Brian Norman or Stan Ionis or whatever the case may be. But with knowing Boots the amount of years that I've known him, like from a boxing aspect, you know, I expected a whole lot more out of him. You see what I mean? And this ain't me shitting on Ennis. I'm not about to take the same approach that these other guys took in terms of disrespecting the man, they're calling him overrated, and even coming to the point where they're saying that they believe Virgil Ortiz smokes Ennis. Now, I think that's pretty ironic, and the recency bias is definitely at an all-time high, and it is very real because when Virgil Ortiz, you know, was getting dropped by Bohachuk, and you know what I'm saying, had a close controversial fight with him that honestly could have went either way, people were talking about how Boots would destroy Virgil Ortiz. But now that, you know, Jerron Ennis had a semi-competitive fight with Karen, all of a sudden, Virgil Ortiz is the favorite going into the fight. It's ironic and all, well, it's hypocritical in all honesty, but, boxing fans nowadays, that's just how they give it up. You feel what I'm saying? But, to really go into, this Jerron Ennis situation, like I said, it was an underwhelming performance in all honesty because I place him on a pedestal where regular performances aren't good enough. You feel what I'm saying? It's almost like, and I'm not comparing Boots to LeBron James or anything like that, but, LeBron James has been operating at a high level for years now, and everybody knows that he's a gifted generational talent in himself. And, LeBron James could drop 20 to 25 points in a game, and there's people calling him washed. Now, why are they calling him that? It's not necessarily because or they saying that his performance was mediocre. And it's not because those numbers aren't, phenomenal or anything like that, but it's because LeBron James has been placed on a pedestal so high that regular performances that could be good for somebody like Ja Morant or Tyrese Maxey or whatever the case may be, that those are good performances for those type of guys that's on the come up. But for LeBron James, they expect so much more out of him. And that's the same light that I look at Jerron Ennis. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like Jerron Ennis could have did a whole lot more to make the fight easier. I think he should have took a page out of the fight that he fought Romain Villa, just keeping a long, sharp jab on Karen. I think that whenever Karen tried to violate or come into the danger zone, Jerron should have made him pay and just boxed him. You feel what I mean? But I do think, in all honesty, that Jerron Ennis wasn't really too hype about this fight. You know what I mean? He didn't really care too much about Karen. You feel what I'm saying? Of course, he had the respect to, properly train and, put in the work, which is why he won the fight. He looked like he was in excellent shape, in all honesty. But, it wasn't somebody who really got him amped up to get into training camp and really lock something in. It was really just an obligation at the end of the day. And this is not me making excuses for him. I just think that that's the reality of the situation. I don't think it's a coincidence that he fought two opponents back-to-back that he didn't really care to fight and then gave you subpar performances as a result. I feel like if you guys want to see the Boots that, we all believe that he is, and you want to see Boots perform at a high level, he needs to be in there with a high-quality opponent, whether we're talking about one of the champions at 147 pounds, the Barrios, the Normans, the Stanionis, or he's going to have to go up to 154 pounds and face one of the elite guys, whether it's Bohachuk, Virgil Ortiz, Madrimov. You know what I'm saying? We can even throw an Erickson Lubin in there, Jesus Ramos, whoever that is, Bakram Murtazaliev. I know this fight is far-fetched, but even a Terrence Crawford fight, that's when you're going to see Boots operating at a higher level because, Boots is at a point in his career now where he wants to be the man. He wants to be in high-profile fights. And when he feels like he's in there with somebody who he's not really going to get credit for or somebody that's not going to take him to the next level if he were to win, it's not as motivating. And I understand that. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm going to give Boots the benefit of the doubt. I rock with the man 1,000%. I feel like I know there's going to be people in the comment section, shitting on Jerron and calling him overhyped or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, let's see him in there with an elite level guy, and then we can assess who he really is as a fighter at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? He beat Karen convincingly. There was people that said in my comments on the live that he had some sort of hometown advantage. I didn't really understand that at all because I thought the victory was, clear cut. I didn't hear no complaints from Karen or his team about, getting robbed or anything like that. So we really need to cut it out in reality, man. And, although... And look, and if you feel like guys like Terrence Crawford could beat him, that's cool. But like I said, recency bias is at an all-time high because although I thought, Terrence Crawford beat Israel Madrimov clearly, there was a lot of people in my comments and on social media in general that was jumping out and saying that, Madrimov got robbed. You feel what I'm saying? And people saying that, if he fought Boots like that it'll be a different story and Boots might actually beat Terrence Crawford. So, we can't really take these inconsistent fans serious when they're providing their opinion on who's better than who and who has the edge going into what fight. We just got to let these motherfuckers fight and tell the stories themselves because we can have opinions, we can have beliefs all day, but what really overthrows all of that is reality. You see what I'm saying? So let's see these fights actually come into play. I would love to see Ennis fight Virgil Ortiz next at 154 pounds because in all honesty, I think that that'll take him to the next level in comparison to unifying at 147. I feel like no matter who Boots faces to unify at 147, he won't even get the credit necessary. And I feel like Boots, although I know he wants to become undisputed so bad, it might not be something that's really realistic at the end of the day because they're already giving him a run for his money as it is. But then again, this performance against Karen might be a blessing in disguise because this might make his future opposition optimistic about facing him. You see what I'm saying? So that's just my thoughts on this whole situation, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Ennis, his performance against Karen, and what he should be doing next. Until then, this was Mazuma TV. Y'all have a blessed, beautiful day. I'm out of here, man. Peace.